M.O.D. True Colors. So guess what? This song's harder than you think it is. At least it was for me. So I got into this thing and I was like, man, the reward versus effort, it just isn't there for me. But it's worth it. You know, you got to push through if you end up having a challenge with it. And the first benchmark of it was the part where Billy Milano comes in and you're playing the riff behind it. And it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. So let's jump into a discussion on these riffs. If we look at, I think a good example might be at the 22-second to the 27-second mark. Right smack dab in the middle is a riff that goes something like dun 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 dun. Yep, that's it. And I struggled with that one. I was like, well, is this downstrokes? Is this upstrokes? And it was a combination. And I was really choppy on it, and I wasn't getting it together well. And what ended up clicking for me was a downstroke on the first two power chords, and they're going to be dropping from the E to the A string on those two power chords. So downstroke, downstroke, and then alternate pick the other three. Now they're all going to be in the same time or in the same count, but downstroke, downstroke, alternate pick, and it kind of unlocked it unlocked some smoothing out of my playing, basically. And so let's see if I can put this into words for you. Often, or not infrequently, when you're working on a riff, it'll be a struggle. And I find that if you're tenacious and you stick with it, your brain will relent and you'll go, okay, you're not going to give up. I've got to figure this out. So those variations and stuff, use your perseverance, stick at it, and in many cases I'm finding your brain just goes, oh, damn it, he's not going away, I've got to figure out how to do this, and they'll come up with something creative. So for me it was the two downstrokes, then the alternate picking. So let's take a look at page 2. And that's loading up as we speak. And okay, so I think it's the riff at the bottom of page 2, starting at the 1 minute 56 second mark. I think all downstrokes sounds good on this one, except for when the power chords are open. Not open E. Let's see. The muted ones should be all downstroked, and then the unmuted parts of this riff, I'll do a down and an upstroke on the second part of on the second power chord. And I found that this one was exhausting for my right hand, and it would kind of like freeze up on me after it got a little fatigued. So I had to build up the muscle memory, and once you get accustomed to the tempo, you can find areas for kind of like micro breaks that kind of take that strainingness out of the hand. So know that if you play it for a while and you get up to tempo, not only will you get stronger, but there'll be kind of micro breaks in there that kind of give your muscles a slight rest and prepare you for the next demand on them. So let's see what tab page 3 has to say. I think it's a riff at 2 minutes 18 seconds, and when it goes to the power chord on the fourth fret, I ended up having a hard time because it was so fast, building up to the speed on it with a count. And usually that's what I do to get the precision. What I ended up having to do on this one is I found that if I ended on an upstroke, and I think it was into the transition to that power chord, it was like, okay, the upstroke was kind of the signifier that I was in step with the guitarist on that one. So spend some time on it, and hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about, where the transition usually is triggered with the upstroke. And I'm going to tab sheet 4. And what do I see here? More of what we've already talked about, I believe. And now to tab sheet 5, which has got the solo. I do the solos last on the tab sheets because I learn them last. I don't recommend that as you're working through the song from beginning to end that you spend your time on the solo once you get to it. I suggest that you learn all the rhythm parts front to back, get used to the changes, so those nuances of the changes aren't there in the back of your mind as a struggle as you're also struggling learning the solo. So learn all the rhythm parts, is my suggestion, then come back to the solo. So that's why I've tacked the solo on at the end. And a brief couple statements on the solo is, I think the beginning is pretty much like the album. The middle's definitely not. The middle, he had some like dead notes and stuff going on in there, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. So, I just did my own thing and added my own dead notes. And at the end, I think I'm pretty close as far as the tab goes. And for some reason, on the playthrough, my fingers decided they wanted to do something not completely different, but I think they just skipped a fret or something. So the playthrough is pretty close to what I've got tabbed out. But I think, they just had a mind of their own at that time. So what I'm thinking is, on the demonstration of the riffs, I don't think I want to play them individually. I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to go through the whole song at maybe like 75% tempo. And I'm also feeling a little impatient and lazy today, so if I don't do a great run through, the good news is the riffs repeat. So if I mess something up, don't take it as the be all end all. Look at the repeat, look what the chorus should be, and go with that. Stick with the song, enjoy it. It's more demanding than it looks like it's gonna be.